Well, I'll apologize for the wind right now, because I know it's windy and it's going to be hard on the microphone, but just sneaking out for a little session after work. And I'm joined by Greg. We've got the ultralight setups. I'm using a 5.5 foot rod. I got the 5 foot rod, or 5.5. You got what, 5er?
Yep, 5.
Okay. So
Fenwick HMX.
So we're both pretty much using the same size ultralight rod, tiny little reel. My reel's a Samsung from about 1992. I don't know, you take care of something, it's going to last a long time. You've got a nice little Fluger.
Fluger with a Fenwick rod.
Yep. Light line. I'm going to start off with a tiny crankbait, and I think you're probably rocking a jig, right?
I am rocking a jig, and I'll probably be using a couple of tubes, some plastic baits, and we'll see what happens.
Okay, so I think I'm going to start casting around out in the open here, and you'll probably cast in around the stumps and structure over here.
Yep.
So we're going to start out with that, and we'll see who hits into them first. The target is panfish. Let's get at it.
Go panfish.
Go panfish, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah, buddy. One.
Okay, get that over here so they can see it a little bit closer. That's a beautiful pumpkin seed.
All right, so first fish of the night. Score 1 for me. Beautiful little pumpkin seed. Let's put them back.
I'm not going to be able to cast this far. I didn't tell Greg, and I won't let him see it. But I switched to the tiniest of jigs, because the last time we were here they were really biting shy. And using an atomic mite. It's pretty much an ice fishing jig, but anything you can use for ice fishing, you can pretty much use for pan fishing in one way or another. And something this tiny, those really finicky sunfish are really going to jump all over this. So I'm going to keep at it and try and outfish Greg. Look out, you're my light. Practically light. Practically.
Oh! Huge turkey.
Rock bass.
Nice. Not a bad little rocky.
That's a good Rocky. I'll take a couple of those any day.
Yeah, that's nice. They're definitely not aggressive.
Oh, it's been cold, right?
Yeah.
Cold weather's really turned them off. Now, there's no real technique to what we're doing. More or less, we're fishing structure. So we have weed, like scattered weed. We have lily pads. Shoreline weed. We've got stumps to the right, and obviously a bridge that you can see. This creek is just full of fish all along it, but they're always going to congregate where you have multiple types of structure. And as we just proved, my turn. Where are you going?
I'm jumping over. Switching.
What's the point of getting the video camera out if you're not going to catch like 10 fish in a couple of minutes? You need to do better, Greg.
Okay, I'll work on it.
Okay, so clearly, with the current being a little bit heavier today, to keep in the strike zone longer, this tiny bait is great for these marginal weeds. If you can get the fish sitting right there. But I think they're holding into a different pattern today. The current's stronger. I think we need to use some heavier jigs So not necessarily larger, but definitely heavier. So I think it's time to switch up again, and maybe we'll go up on top of the bridge and fish around the pilings a little bit more. What do you think?
Sounds like a plan to me. I'm already putting on a 2. I'm ahead of you.
All right, I'm gonna get my feet wet again.
I think we might actually have more chance on the other side. It's a little deeper there, isn't it?
All right, so we switched up to some heavier jigs. I'm still using white, but just a twister tail with a 32nd ounce head. The one I was using wasn't even, I don't even know, like a 72th of an ounce. It was so tiny. But just the water's moving so fast, the wind is really booking it down, and we just can't get a bait presented to where we think these fish are. We think they're holding a little bit deeper out of the marginal weed. So we've moved up on top of the bridge, which isn't that high up overall. And we're gonna fish some of the deeper structure, the pilings right straight below. And apparently I'm gonna cast into the tree. Okay, I'm gonna get that fixed while Greg fishes.
Fantastic. Oh yeah, crappie!
Oh, nice!
Oh, beautiful crappie.
Right on that piling, eh?
Just coming across it. I changed up to a purple jig, or tube jig, with just a clearish silver purple speck.
Nice.
Nice crappie. Yeah.
Nice. Good stuff.
Fantastic.
Why don't we get a couple more?
Let's do it.
Who's gonna get the next one?
Me.
Yeah.
Crappie, that is nice to see.
Yeah. Although, really, every time we've been out this for panfish lately, we've been hitting them.
Yep. I honestly wasn't even sure he was on.
Because they hit upwards.
So I took a little pull and yeah, there he was, you know.
It's so weird that it's so tough. Like the last time we were here, we were getting a fish every drop, eh?
Yeah. The way it goes sometimes. Part of it is the cooler weather over the last couple of days too, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I was out last night for carp and we didn't even get a bite until after 11 o'clock. The fish just shut right down. There's lots of good wood structure on the bottom. There's weed, there's the concrete, the pilings, the bridge. I know the fish are here. You just gotta figure out, you know, like I think you're right. I think they're a little bit deeper than they would normally be, for sure. Oh! I missed one. It was one of those, I'm an angry sunfish bites. I'll get him. Cleaned everything out, yeah. I'm gonna try the long bomb. See that? Right to that structure.
I am really surprised they're not just smoking it. Definitely get something in there.
Oh, did you see that?
Yeah.
Now, one of the things about using these light jigs is that when you're casting out, you're not really going to have a direct line to your bait, especially when you're kind of casting over any distance or from height like I was just there. So you're watching for line bites. You're watching, even though with the wind. Sorry, I'm stammering here. With the wind, you're getting a nice big bow in the line from rod tip to connection point in the water. So you're going to watch that to tighten up a little bit, or just tick, outside of that wind pattern. I had a really good bite there and I missed it. I'm sure I'll find it again. that they've moved off on us. Or at least maybe some pressure has shut them down. So what do you think about moving upriver?
We can do that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. All right, let's go upriver.
There you go.
Rock bass.
That's a nice rock bass. Fantastic.
Nice. Look at the size of this rock bass. Beauty.
Back he goes. Told you I was catching him.
Well, what, is that your first drop over there?
Yeah.
Oh, I need your rod.
What is that?
My rod just fell in. I need you to catch it for me.
Another nice crappie, a little light colored, but changed up to a white jig head. All right, let's put him back. Whoa, what size is that rock bass? Another nice rock bass. Oh, it's not. Oh, it's a bluegill. Oh, look at that.
Is that the rod?
That's our first bluegill.
Nice.
Got into another nice little bluegill. Let's see if we can catch some more.
Okay, so while Greg is just down here on the piling, he's been hammering the panfish steady. I had a bit of a bonehead move. I tripped and actually dropped my ultralight rod down into the river. I've actually spent the better part of the last, 45 minutes or so?
At least, yeah.
I grabbed the other rod out of the car and was dragging just a jig head that I bent the hook. Dragging along the bottom, trying to catch the line and get it back. And yeah, after 45 minutes, I have got my rod back. It's full of water, but you know, a rod that I've had since I was in my late teens, early 20s. I'm happy to have back. You know, a lot of memories with this rod. On the downside, I don't get to buy a new one, but now I can get back to fishing. You know, we're running out of light and slowed down a bit, but I'm so happy I got the rod back. Tell me I spooked those fish over there.
Oh yeah, you know what? Whoa! Whoa!
What do you got?
I don't know.
What? You got a pike.
I got a pike. I'm pretty sure I got a
Just
pike.
be careful you don't fall. You might have to swing it around shore. You
Oh,
got
yeah.
a little pike.
I did. I got a little pike.
Hang on, I gotta get this off of here.
Yeah, I got me a little pike. I knew as soon as he hammered that, I'm like, that's not a.
Oh, sorry about the camera work.
You ready? Pull him up, and he's
Oh,
off.
you break the line?
Yeah, he got.
That was a nice little pike.
It was.
He hammered that
We
dude.
did. Oh well. Well, that was fun.
That was a little 2-pounder.
That was a nice little pike.
On what bait?
On, do I say it?
On a jig?
On a white jig.
White jig. We'll just go with that.
Sure.
Yeah. All right. Oh, that was so good.
That was cool. I knew I should have grabbed the net though. I was thinking I should grab the net, and I was like, nah, I'll just horse it in.
Yeah, and you paid the price for that, didn't you?
I did. What was it, 5-pound test? Trying to.
Yeah.
Oh well. That was fun. It was time to switch up lures anyways.
Yeah. Oh. I'm seeing fish rise. They're all taking bait fish off the surface. Let's go over this way. I've seen them rise down in these weeds over here. There's probably 3 or 4 fish that have come up. So the advantage to fishing a spot like this, when you're, working the structure pretty much 4 corners of a bridge. Oh, that was bad. Pretty much everything's in casting distance. All the primary structure you're going to be fishing anyways. So it wouldn't be uncommon for another pike to be swimming around here. There's just lots of little small pike. Little small pike. Small pike. Hammer handles. With Greg having lost his right out of his hand, I wouldn't be surprised if we found another one, maybe on this side of the bridge. With the sun pretty much now down below the horizon, we don't have any specific spot that the sun is actually hitting the water. So there's no real one spot that's necessarily any warmer than the other. So now the fish are going to disperse. They're going to kind of go back to more traditional structure like the stumps, the weeds, the pilings. They might not be moving back and forth from spot to spot to catch that warm water again. The other thing that's important is if you can find the food source, you're going to find the predators. So we keep looking, all over the place, along the weed beds, out in the open. If we see some small bait fish rising, doesn't matter if it's in the middle of the creek, cast into it. Your little jig in that little group of minnows that they're chasing, they'll probably grab your bait. Oh, it's been a while since I've had a bite, but got a nice cast in under the bridge, and I got me a crappie. Not big, but man, I love catching crappies. It's still early, but the big ones are coming, and it's just nice to get the little ones when you can. So what I'm using here now, we've gone through a couple of different jigs, tube jigs, white jigs. I use that small crankbait for a little bit. Right now, I am using a 32nd ounce tricolor jig head with a split tail 2-inch electric chicken twister tail. It's pink on one side, green on the other. I'm not sure how well the color's showing up there. Now, one of the important things, especially when you're fishing vertically around a bridge or structures, let's say you're fishing from a boat, or even dropping this below a float, like a bobber, just swimming it along, pay close attention to the knot position. So when you have the knot kind of positioned like right where you'd think it would hold steady, the weight of it is going to hold it down. So I always actually turn my knot inward to try and hold it as vertical as I can, or sorry, as horizontal as I can. I want to get it straight this way. A lot of times as you're fishing, you'll find that it ends up like this. You'll still catch fish, especially if you're swimming it along, but when you're trying to get those finicky fish that are sitting there in a vertical presentation, Greg's changing baits again. Like I said, I always kind of point the knot in towards the hook. It's just a little tip to help keep it the right way for that straight up and down presentation. I don't imagine we're going to be out much longer if really losing the light, winds picking up again. But it's always good to try and get those last few fish of the evening. See what happens. time to wrap it up. Been a fun session. Got a number of different species of panfish. That was our target. We wanted to catch some crappies and some sunfish. We did. Got some nice bonus big rock bass, eh?
One pike.
Yeah, you got your pike, yeah. But that's the benefit, you know, of just short sessions, light tackle, you know, the 5-foot rods, the tiny jigs. You know, sunfish are plentiful all over the place. It's really not hard to find a spot for them at all. And quite often there's other bigger fish that follow. So for now, the battery's gonna die. We're gonna wrap this up, but I think we're gonna keep fishing, aren't we?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So hopefully the next time we get out, we'll catch a few more fish than we did tonight. You know, it was a little bit tough, but yeah, here's the next time.